Howdy.
And welcome back to the Gen Free Podcast. Can I get a round of applause? You playing it? I can hear from the headphones. Man, your headphones are mad loud. Like, for real. This is a student-led podcast focusing on discovering God's freedom in our everyday lives. Once again, gladly. My name is Iana Cruz.
I am the co-host of the Gen Free Podcast. My name is Sawyer Robertson, also the editor of the Gen Free Podcast.
He does an excellent job.
I do my best.
Very terrific job. Yeah, I'm so glad he started editing because I get to see like the funny stuff. He is the guy that introduced the little funny clips that you'll be seeing throughout videos.
That's me.
Yes. And then our lovely guest. Whoa, lovely guest. Yes.
You got there.
Lovely guest. I'll speak slower. Okay, that'll help.
There you go. Sound it out.
Know her from youth group. She has been attending Praise Community Church for a long time, has proven herself of worthy leadership.
Oh, thank you.
She's definitely filled with the Holy Spirit. I love her.
Okay.
Whoa. The criticism's crazy. I love her. Everyone loves her. And she is just on fire for God. Novalea Verno. Yay.
Thank you.
Yay.
There you go. I feel like I'm like fangirling. Like this is really just me being like, can I get your autograph? I've listened to every episode. Like Why
are you fangirling? You've known me since I was like in
What
6th
happened
grade.
on episode 3 at 23 minutes in?
You talked about Jesus. I hope.
That's a good guess.
That's pretty accurate.
Insert the clip here.
Are we going to insert that exact clip?
If it's good, yes. If it's not, no.
This would be us like laughing or something.
Jesus or Wawa. Those are my guesses.
Oh, so you're already dissing on Wawa. We just got here.
That was Ramon's episode.
What?
We were not there yet.
Oh.
In the Gen Free Podcast lore, we were not at our Sheets Wawa debate yet.
Look, you want to see? You know where we live? I know. Look at that. We got two things about Wawa right here.
It's upsetting. It is upsetting.
No, it's not.
I avoid Wawa.
That is like a very Philadelphian picture right there.
It really is.
How dare you disrespect my Wawa?
I'm so sorry.
You come in here with your sheets. Sorry. Nasty. Actually, no. Why do you like sheets better?
I
New year,
know.
same sheets.
That would be great advertising.
I'm just so good at marketing.
Wow. You should call them up. But yeah.
I don't know.
I just love sheets. I just feel like their food's good. Gas prices are great. Love the color scheme.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's just on the increase.
It's just
gas prices are better.
Well, compared to like 7-Eleven. Have you seen?
Not compared to Wawa.
We don't even have Wawas in York. It's like
it's coming.
It is.
It's coming.
It is,
yeah.
I'll boycott it. I'll be out there with a sign. It's like no more Wawa.
Freak Wawa.
Yeah,
we're like, yeah.
I'm gonna give you a hoagie.
Oh Lord.
And I'm gonna change your mind.
I don't want a hoagie from a gas station. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's not
just a gas station.
When you want to hang out, where do you go?
Sheets.
Wawa.
Absolutely not.
The parking lot of Sheets.
I want a smoothie. I want a hot chocolate. Their hot drink selection during the winter, during Christmas, girl, marketing off the charts.
Literally, the only way I would approve of people hanging out at Sheets is if you're like my cousins, because they live in a small town where the only thing they have in their town that is worth of note is a Sheets.
No, but listen, like Sheets.
That's where all the high schoolers go to hang out.
This is OG lore too.
Okay.
Way back.
Listen.
Way back with the first group of interns, we would stop at Sheets on the way back from ministry events, and we'd get like milkshakes from Sheets, and that was our thing. And Brian, name dropping, Brian loved it. Okay,
that's what they all say.
He's gone to the dark side since.
We might have.
I'm not saying if I need to go to Sheets, I'll go to Sheets like over Rudders.
I won't go to Wawa. I literally.
But Wawa is top tier. It goes, and I think the only thing that could probably top Wawa's would be a Bucky, and that Bucky's, but that's I've never been small.
There. I would like to.
Yeah, it's better than Sheets.
No, it is not.
Bucky's is better than Sheets. I will die on this hill. I will die. When they hit Florida, bro, I was all over it.
Oh, no.
We might need a statement from Mr. Brian Connolly with this information.
I mean, yeah, he loved it. I mean, this is what we would do.
I'm going to die on this hill. Wawa is better than Sheets. There's like,
how about this? How about I'll take you, we'll have a little date. Sawyer, you can come with if you want.
Yeah.
I'll show you the best items at Sheets.
Left out of the date once again.
But we can't be biased.
No.
I'll give you a real
I'll be fair.
review.
Yeah.
You're gonna love Wawa.
Okay.
You're gonna love it here.
On another
No,
episode.
no
of the Gen 3
preconceived
podcast.
notions
Love
on
it
this
here.
playground.
You're gonna love it there.
Okay.
I love that John so much.
Maybe I just need a good introduction.
John.
Maybe I just went in blind and I didn't know.
I think you did go in blind.
I just didn't know.
Cause sheets, I got sick.
Sorry.
I got
I
sick,
love it.
and all I had was
It's
Dole
so
Whip.
good. Oh, I don't have the fancy sheets.
Oh,
So Dole
I
Whip.
went to the fancy sheets. I went with Michael DeRose.
5 minutes later.
Good one.
It's everyone. I still wonder why you're fangirling because you've known us since we were like kids.
I've
Not
known
me.
you, not you, but I've gone to praise for about 15
I just
years
like
now.
appeared
Yeah.
one
So
day.
I was
So
in
did
youth
I.
group back when Brian was the youth
Take
pastor.
that face of me.
So I have seen this place go. I don't even know what's happening over there.
I said I just appeared one day, and then
You
Grace was
did.
like,
You did. I started talking to Sawyer because of the jersey you were wearing. It's
yeah.
Avatar: Last Airbender. I was
Mhm.
like, this kid's cool.
It was like,
And
what?
now I'm stuck.
And I don't remember who came up to me. And it was like, is that your last name, or are you just a fan of The Last Airbender? And I was like, it's my last name. I'm kidding. I didn't say
I
that.
thought you would say something like
No,
that.
I didn't say that. I was like, no, I just like the show because I was like severely depressed at this point.
Mhm.
Oh, it's funny.
I was just
We-
severely depressed.
we were playing Heads Up a few weeks ago, me and my siblings, and and I had the phone, and Shay was giving me hints, and wait, no, she had the phone. I was giving the hints, and depression came up, and the first thing I say is like, "It's something I had." And she was like, "Depression!"
Oh my-
Boom, first guess. She
Hey.
gets it, and I was.
Listen.
It was incredible.
What a great segue into our discussion of.
Oh, I love
know,
my
there's no
sister.
shame
She's
in
not
it.
watching this, but Shay, I love you.
I love you too,
Shay, I do
Shay.
love
She's
you
not
too.
watching.
I heard you're a car girl, so we gotta talk. Anyways. You know what we're talking about today?
I do.
Oh my gosh, you wanna say it?
We're talking about health and faith and how can they coexist.
Yay!
Yeah. I was
healing,
telling
and
people about it, like my family, and they were like, "Oh, you're gonna go in and give like workout advice," and I was like, "No,
No,
not that way." I was like, "I'm
Huh?
not the person.
Not the
Workout
forte.
advice?
Not the person." But
Cassie.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah.
Workout advice is crazy.
yeah, but no, just my testimony is pretty big and centered around the idea of, being healthy or lack of, and how do you rationalize God being good when
Yeah.
the situation isn't. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's just get right into it. You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
fire away.
So, I sent you a bunch of questions
You did.
that I forgot to send you a few days before that I was
okay.
supposed to send you. And I apologize
No,
for
it was
being
good.
so last minute with the questions.
Did you know that when you texted me, it like popped up like an image that you have of you pre-downloaded on your phone?
Oh my gosh,
It was
that
very
picture
cute. It was very
is
cute.
the one of like me like shoving
Mhm.
the ice cream cone in my mouth.
Yeah.
I thought it was a donut for the longest time.
No. It was ice cream.
No, I was in.
So that's my
I
profile
was.
pic of you.
I went back to Philly.
I hit
for-
update so fast on that. I was like, I want that phone.
You know what I have to think about when I like give people my number? That's what they.
Yeah.
That's what they see.
My profile picture of you is the day that I let you put on my Spider-Man mask and your hair was like sticking out the top. And
Curly
it
hair
just
problems.
like the mask was like much bigger than your head because of the hair. It was really funny, and that's why I was your profile picture.
Do you see the ice cream image?
No,
Never
not
seen it.
anymore because
Oh,
I
I'ma send it,
changed
I'ma
it
send
to
it. Oh,
that
you sent it.
specifically.
Changed it.
It used to be that way, but now it's
It makes me happy.
it looks like that.
Yeah, Mr. Frosty got it down. It was
Yeah.
so good.
Mhm.
They don't got ice cream.
Sorry,
trucks
put this
around
image on
here.
screen.
You can. I don't care. It makes me cooler,
Yeah, there you go.
in my opinion. All right.
Yeah.
Health, healing, and faith.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into it. All right. I'm going to read it off.
Okay.
So, what are your...
That's terrible. So
Okay. You prefer my deep voice? You prefer my normal
your
voice?
anchor voice, your news anchor voice.
My news anchor voice? Like this?
Yeah.
Like
I
this?
think Sawyer like the other voice.
Or I could do the voice I was talking about earlier. Like I could make myself sound like the Spanish translator on Duolingo. Bienvenidos. Like I can do it.
I didn't bring an accent. I wasn't prepared.
Huh?
I said I didn't bring an accent or an impression.
It's okay. I'll speak normally now.
Okay.
Experiences with seeing/being healed or not seeing healing.
Mhm.
That's probably confusing for y'all to hear. So I'm going to rephrase it better. What are your experiences with healing or not seeing healing? Because that happens.
Yeah. So I kind of have two little answers to this. The first I kind of already alluded to is that I did intern with Brian at Faith Like Birds. And back then we did ministry. We went out with him. We were his ministry team. And so I'm very blessed in that, you know, between the ages of like 14 and 16, I got to see healing hands-on. And like, that's just not an experience a lot of people get. And like, that really shaped my relationship with God, like seeing that and being a part of it and not being discredited because of my age, you know? And so that was really cool. And just being in praise in general, like it is an atmosphere that really does invite healing and talking about it. And, you know, we're very blessed in that because that's not the true of every church. And so, you know, that was really cool. But as that all is happening, kind of behind the scenes, my family experiencing kind of a little bit of a different story. So my mom and my middle sister were born with a really rare disease called osteogenesis imperfecta. It's also known as brittle bone disease. So it's a mutated form of dwarfism that produces a lack of calcium in the body. So their bones are fragile. It's like the equivalent of being a China doll. So if you and I stub your toe, you say ow and move on. For them, it could shatter their whole foot. So I grew up with them in and out of the hospital for surgeries and breaks. My mom, when I was younger too, also had some other health issues. She had 3 strokes and several flat lines. She had a blood clot in her neck and just overall was like, for lack of a better word, dying for a short period of time. And so it was really hard to walk through that. Well, at that time, I'm in youth group. I'm going to the lock-ins and the retreats and the camps, you know, and then seeing these people that I love be in pain and seeing them, you know, really struggle with things that I'm reading about in the Bible, you know, and people are telling me that this is real and this is the truth and, like, what happened in this can happen today, you know, and that's a lot for anybody at any age, especially to be, like, 12, 13 years old and to see someone, you know, in that situation, you know, and as the oldest, you know, that's definitely a lot because, you know, I wanted to shield my sisters from it and take on more responsibility around the house to help out. And so that's always really tough, but it definitely was like a big part of my story is just like rationalizing, like, how can God be good when that happens, you know?
Yeah.
And so that was a really big theme for a lot of years. And kind of the interesting thing about my story compared to a lot of others is that healing hasn't come. You know, we've prayed so many times. Every, you know, healing revival or tent service you could think of, we've been there. And so every leader at Praise has prayed over them. And, you know, I mean, I was doing ministry. Like, I was going to other churches and praying for people and seeing people get healed when I laid hands on them, you know, and then going home and it's like nothing, nothing happening. And, you know, that's tough.
It's very tough.
Yeah. So it took a while to kind of come to terms with that. And it brought me to a really, you know, dark and lonely place because, you know, I just remember being really angry at God and, like, just really frustrated with him about, like, you know, how can you be who you say you are and yet hold yourself back from me? You know, I feel like I'm being faithful. I feel like I'm being obedient. And yet, like, this is what you're giving me, you know? And I just could not wrap my head around, like, how these two things could exist. And then during that, I started to have my own struggles with health, more mentally, you know, just struggling with, you know, suicidal thoughts and stuff, just being in a dark place. And thankfully, like, the Lord delivered me of that. I'm so thankful for that. And, you know, not ashamed that that's part of my story, but grateful that I get to talk about it on the other side as being healed and delivered of that. So then there was this added layer of, okay, well, I got delivered from this, but yet they're still sick. And then as kind of time progressed, I ended up developing kind of this interesting thought pattern that a lot of people know as OCD, which is obsessive compulsion disorder. It's an anxiety disorder. And OCD is kind of a real thing that I still struggle with to this day. You know, this idea of, you know, it's not like what a lot of people think is like, oh, your room's clean and tidy and you like your notes organized. And I'll definitely say that I do like it like that. But it's a lot more than that. It's this idea of, like, having a thought in your head and feeling like you can't get past it without, like, doing something, doing some action. And so for me in the past, I've struggled with, like, for a while it was that, you know, someone was going to get hurt if I didn't make my bed a certain way, starting at a certain corner. And I would wake up in the morning paralyzed in fear. Like, I could not leave my room without doing this. Or, like, later on, things like, I couldn't get through my day if I didn't brush my teeth a certain number of times because I was going to be distracted. And if I was distracted, someone could get hurt, and it's all that happening, even now, like it's still something I struggle with now. And yet, I can also in the same breath say that like God's good. And like, I don't need him to heal me, and I don't need him to heal my mom and sister for me to love him. And that's not an easy pill to swallow and not an easy truth to like really take in and understand. And it took years. Like this is not like an overnight thing. And I know God, can overnight like deliver and overnight heal and change mindsets and stuff. But for me, it was just this long journey with the Lord of how do you, like, just trying to figure it out and piece it together. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How did you get to that? That's
Yeah.
a bold
Yeah.
statement
Yeah.
that I think a
is.
lot of people shy away from. It's
Mhm.
true. I believe that.
Yeah.
But how did that develop?
Mm-hmm.
How did you and God come
Yeah.
to that? How did you come to that conclusion
Yeah.
in your faith?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like what you said, like me and God, it is not in my own strength or by myself that I came to that. And I, in a really roundabout way, I'm thankful that this is my reality, that like this is what I struggle with and this is what me and my family have had to walk through because it's forced me to be so dependent on him.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this like raw intimacy with God that comes from it where like apart from him, like I'm gonna like fall apart. Like, I've had people tell me a lot of times, friends of mine, like that I really love and trust, tell me that they would understand it if I was angry at God or that if I stopped being a believer because of the things my family has to experience like on a daily basis. And it blows my mind because, I'm grateful that through like my encounters with the Lord and my alone time with him, like the gift of the Bible and like reading the gospel over and over again. And it's like I read it and I read about how like the Lord sent his son to die for us and to take my sins and to wash me clean. And it's like I read that and I weep and I get so moved by it. And I can't read something like that and then in the next breath go, I'm going to deny him this part of me or deny him this worship because my situation, is crummy.
Yeah.
Like he deserves all of me, And I think that also comes to like over the years, my posture in prayer and worship has always been like, God, you don't even have to acknowledge me like in this moment. Like, I don't need you to like do a miraculous thing. I don't need some big prophetic word. It's more than enough that I'm at your feet, And like, I think having that kind of already like as like a groundwork, like really helped me like understand like, you know what, like there's no like ties on this relationship. There's no conditions that I'm going to issue against God. If God, I'll give you my yes if you do this for me.
Yeah.
That's not how it works. Like that's not in the Bible. And if you can find it, point it to me because I've read that thing cover to cover and it's not in there. I'm not, there's no part of me that is worthier than him, like he's done so much for me. And like, if this is something that my family walks through the rest of our life, then like, what a cool testimony that like I get to reach this community of people who maybe are struggling with OCD, maybe, are in the OI community that haven't been reached. Like, I'm just taking it like step by step. Like I'm not taking it for granted. Like my mom could have died, and there was a really large part of my life where I didn't think she was going to see me graduate high school. I wake up every day knowing that my mom is alive, that she's there, that I get to like, just while I'm away at college, I get to call her and she's going to pick up, And like, I can't have that reality and walk through that. And then in the same breath be like, well, yeah, but I'm not going to read my Bible today or pray because this got worse or they just went to the hospital last night or something like that,
Yeah. That's incredible. And that is an abundance of faith I think a lot of people struggle with. And then your testimony, as like others have said, they can understand why I would give you an excuse to walk away, which I'm going to be honest, it kind of dumbfounded me that you said the opposite. Because I've come across people who I hear their situations and I can truly understand, man, I can understand why you're not a believer, why you don't. But you gave no excuse, girl.
Yeah.
Why? I know this is probably a repetitive question, but why do you give no excuse? What's the biblical principle to why you don't give yourself a card, a pity card, or a sadness card? Instead, you walk in faith.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say I'm not perfect. Like, there are days when I do wake up and it's a lot easier to believe the lie of, like, especially, like, you know, when things are tough,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and there is doubt that creeps in, and it's like, man, like, okay, like, you know, sometimes it is easier to believe the lie that, like, you know, maybe I am mad at God today. And so I'm not claiming to be perfect, but like when you read like the Gospels and just like the life and ministry of Jesus, I mean, that man was incredible. Like, and just, I don't know, I just think that the life of him, like who he was and his character, like I read that and I'm just in awe, you know, and I just can't rationalize not giving him my all. You know, when all he asked for is a yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I heard it once by Noah Iser. I love that. Love that.
He goes
man.
to praise.
He goes to praise. Love him so much. He is so wise. And he said once, you know, the really cool thing about this Christian walk is that, you know, all I have to do is put down depression, and I put down anxiety, and I put down these suicidal thoughts and these icky things. And instead, I pick up peace and joy and love. And like, he said it and it just like clicked. Like, you know what? You're right. All I do is put down like the worst parts of me, the rawest parts of me that I've been trying to hide for so long. And I pick up, you know, just this incredible relationship of unfailing love. You know, I get to know him as Father. Like, that is crazy. Like, that the creator of the universe, like, I know him. Like, you know, he says, like, the sheep know my voice. Like, I get to spend time with him in the morning. And, you know, like I said about, you know, he doesn't have to acknowledge me. I am overwhelmed just being at his feet and just being in his presence and knowing that, like this is it, you know? And I think, too, the idea that I just discovered it when I was young. You know, I probably became a believer in, like, when I was in 5th grade and have had these really amazing encounters with the Lord. And it's like, I don't want to take advantage. Like, I don't want to take that for granted, you know, to have that start now. Like, I want my life at the end of this, you know, journey to just, for people to talk about me and just say that she loved Jesus. I don't want anything else said about me. Just that I loved him, you know, and loved him well. And, you know, I'm not going to get there if I wake up every morning being like, well, I got a bone to pick with God today because this thing is still, you know, in my life. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
No,
Yeah.
it completely does. I think I'm just more in awe of what
Don't
you are saying.
Yeah.
What do you mean, don't be in awe?
Because it's just, man, that's just a simple gospel. You know?
It is, but I'm in awe of the gospel. It's just
That's
coming
good.
through
There
you.
you
It just happens to be coming through you. So I want to acknowledge your doubt a little more, go deeper into that in the aspect of how do you described it as like a laying down.
Mm-hmm.
How do you actually lay down your doubt, depression, whatever it may be, through the wise words of Noah Iser?
Yeah.
The way he described it. How are you able to do that?
Yeah. Well, I think we see like that demonstrated in the idea of like, you know, pick up your cross and follow me. And, you know, for me, I view it very much as an active decision every morning. Like, I wake up and I really do prioritize my time with God. Like, that is really special to me, to pray and to read the word. And in that, you know, I really like out loud, I'm just like, God, like, I just choose you over everything else. Like, you know, and it is really hard, like, you know, to be walking amidst things of uncertainty, you know, in relation to health, you know, that's big. Like, people, like, it's life or death, you know, is kind of the situation my family deals with a lot of times. And so it's, you wake up and the first thing you hear is the enemy's voice reminding you of all these things that you should be mad about, you know, that look at you, you're struggling with this, you know, this just happened and you're waiting on this text back. And, you know, it's a lot and it's overwhelming. And especially, you know, on the standpoint of like me struggling with OCD, you know, to wake up and to then have this sudden voice after being good for a few weeks, you know, like prior time's been good and I haven't heard anything and I haven't had to struggle, and then waking up to like, okay, someone's going to get hurt, or like your day is like weird things like, you know, you're going to get in a car accident if you don't do this first. And it's like, it's really discouraging, I think. And the doubt comes in because it's like, well, am I not a good Christian? Like, am I having these voices? Am I giving weight, like giving them a place in my heart because I'm not doing good, you know? And that's a lie. Like, that's just a lie. That's not how it works. His love for us isn't conditional, you know, and his pursuit of us isn't, and his protection over us isn't. And, you know, I get to wake up and Pastor Adam, Praise Community Church, says it so well, where it's like, you know, when like the enemy comes and attacks, like turn it instantly, you know? And so for me, like that active choice to like step over doubt and to lay it down is to be like, you know what, God, I thank you that I do have a family, that like I have people in my life that I care so much about that like I'm like grieving with them, you know, that I'm mourning with them, but I'm also rejoicing with them. And, you know, thank you that your heart is for restoration of families and for healing. And like, thank you that you are healing, God. I may not be seeing it, but it doesn't mean that you're not. Like, you know, that my perception of you, like, is so limited. You know, I'm seeing such, you know, kind of this limited scope of who God is in relation to my life. It doesn't mean he's not that to other people. And like, thank you that there are people that, you know, are praying for healing and are seeing it. And like, you know, Lord, trust me, like, you know, entrust me with faith to like have faith for them to be healed, you know, and don't let me hold it back. You know, I think as soon as you start to like twist it, like on the enemy, you know, it does get harder for the enemy to then keep bringing even more doubt. Cause it's like, well, when I do that, she keeps praying, you know, and that's not like what he wants, you know,
at all.
No, prayer is powerful and it's important, and it's a tool that you really need to steward and, you know, learn how to do. And it's awkward at first when you don't know how to pray and you're sitting there trying to recite the ones you read.
Yeah, one thing I tell my my group of kids, a youth group, the boys, I tell them always, I have the 6th and 7th grade boys. I always tell them that when I go to pray, I posture myself in gratitude.
Yes.
And I just thank the Lord for what He's given me and everything that I have, because one day it might all be gone.
Yeah.
And that day might be soon, it might not be. But everything in this world is futile, and it's and it could be gone one day. So I just posture myself in gratitude and just be thankful for everything that He's given me, so that I can just give all the glory to Him.
Yeah. I mean, Thanksgiving is not a holiday. It's a lifestyle. Like, it's a constant posture that you get to live in. And, like, man, it is so good to just, like, wake up and just be thankful that, like, you woke up. And, like, thankful you have breath in your lungs and a roof over your head. And it's, like, when you start your day off with that, like, it's, like, how's the enemy going to come in and try to, like, take that away from me, you know? Because your testimony, even the testimony of small, is, like, I woke up today. Amazing. Like, praise God. Like, that's not everyone's story right now, you know? And, you know, it is so hard for people to take that away from you. Like, your encounters and your experiences with the Lord. You know, people can argue the Bible all they want at me. You know, we can have debates about theology, but as soon as you're like, that didn't happen to you, well, you lost me. I mean, I was there. You know, I had these moments. Like, I had this, you know, this is what my faith is rooted on. Like, these really intimate moments with God.
Yeah. I have to turn to the question.
The next question.
The next question, because you answered a lot.
I did.
Already.
I kind of got ahead.
Oh, you haven't answered this one. You haven't answered this one, Novalea.
Okay.
Oh, you kind of have.
Well, I could repeat.
What have you learned to strengthen your faith in God's healing power?
Yeah, that's a good one. The honest truth is that I feel like I have a lot more to go. I have faith for healing, but I don't think that it's, you know, I think there's always more to grow. And I'm excited about that, because it means I get to go to Him as teacher and, you know, and ask questions and, you know, and get to learn more and learn from other people.
Yeah, it's no fun if you know everything.
Yeah.
I just in video games, like you start at the bottom. And it's the same way in real life. You start with the ability to do absolutely nothing. Yeah. But you work your way up from there, and you level up and work through like achieving things and learning things from what you have done. So then you can move on to bigger things. And I think how we grow in our relationship with God and like what He gives us is He gives us stuff that He thinks we can handle. And once we achieve that, He gives us something bigger, and we just keep moving forward with Him and just growing and achieving more things for Him. And I think it's the same way in growing relationship with God, and I'm just really thankful for that, because I always bring up the story of how, like, when I started coming here, I was nervous to pray in front of people, because I would struggle and get super nervous with it, and it would just be really hard. And like one of the first times I was in small groups with Matt Warden, he asked me if I wanted to.
He goes to praise. I have to.
Everyone cool
They don't
goes to
know here.
praise.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Just
They don't
keep
know who
going.
they are.
It's the best church ever.
Yeah. So
Wow.
it's a bold statement, Con. Okay.
Very bold statement.
It's my favorite church.
We
Yeah.
gotta put that in quote.
Yeah, he asked me if I wanted to close out small groups in prayer, and I told him I couldn't.
Oh,
I remember that, and
he slapped you. No, I'm joking.
no. Probably would. No, I'm kidding. I love him.
No,
He's
he
so,
wouldn't.
He's
No,
so
he
funny.
wouldn't.
The praise leaders do not slap their kids.
No, yeah, that was controversial.
No, that was.
They don't.
That was a
Don't
lie.
worry.
Outside of small groups, though, no kidding.
Oh my God.
I love him so much.
He's young.
He's
they
incredible.
play fight. Okay, that's just gonna be thrown
It's what
out there.
boys do.
It's what boys
It's
do.
what boys do.
Because Matt is not that much older than
Just
me.
bros being.
No,
bros.
he's
Okay.
just
Okay,
he's like 2 years older than me,
that's insane. He's only 2.
2 or 3.
He's not that much older than us.
I think about it because I was talking to his wife Bryn about this.
I love her.
She's
so
not that
funny.
much older. We were in the same high school at the same time together.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You know how insane that is?
Mhm.
They have a child.
I feel so old.
It's such a cute child.
I just
too.
graduated.
So,
Yeah, that
but-
baby is cute.
So but yeah, we
Shout out.
worked on it, and and eventually I did get better at praying, and
Mhm.
now I'm in the spot that I am today.
Yeah,
So,
and that's awesome that like you have room to grow.
mhm.
You know, and like I hope that I grow in the Lord, but I hope I never reach the end because like
Mm.
it's like when you read the book, like they call him rabbi. You
Mhm.
know, they call him teacher, and it's like, man, how can I read that and then think that my questions are going to be a stumbling block for
Mhm.
the Lord?
Yeah.
He's not scared by your unbelief or your doubt. That is so small to him. Like, he is the creator of the universe, the Alpha and the Omega. Like, he is King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And if you think that, like, you're one little, Lord, can you just explain this to me? If you think that's going to, like, crush him and, like, completely destroy who he is, like that's a lie,
Mhm.
And it's so cool to get to a place where you can ask questions and be like, God, like, I don't understand this. I don't understand why I'm praying for this and I'm not seeing it. And like, it's hard. I had a moment recently, like probably within the past month, where something I had been praying for a really long time did not happen. And if anything, it took like 6 steps back. And I put way more of myself and my heart into that situation than I really should have. And I was at a really rough place. And I had a moment where like I'm sitting in my apartment and I'm just crying out to God and I'm saying, God, I'm like physically at the end of myself. I don't know what to do. And I just need you to give me an answer. I'm doubting you. Like, I don't know if like this just looks like so bad. Like, how can you be good in this?
Mm.
And I'm sitting there and I'm waiting for an answer. And I hear him say, like in my spirit say, abide in me. And my reaction is not, oh, Lord, thank you so much for like answering me. You're so good. I start crying and I'm like, no, give me another one, And it was just this funny moment of like, that's not what I wanted to hear, but it's what I needed to hear.
Mhm.
But looking back on that, really silly kind of childish tantrum I was throwing with the Lord, it was just like this moment of like, wow, like, I'm at a place with God where I can not that I can talk to him like that, but I can have those moments of like going to him for these questions and just having these raw moments with him. And like that's like your foundation,
Mhm.
I mean, you can listen to the best pastors in the world and the best sermons and like read all the good books and commentaries and, Bible studies. And like, I'm not knocking it. I love that stuff and it's important and it really does help, build and encourage you in your walk with God. But like, you also can just go straight to the source, and talk to him yourself. And I promise you, like, when you pray and ask him to like, hey God, can you just like, come with me as I'm reading this book of the Bible and like point it out to me, it'll come alive. He is not a God that holds himself back from his people. He is constantly pursuing us and constantly, inviting us into this relationship with him. And,
Mm.
he did the hard stuff. He sent Jesus to die for us. And, he's just waiting. Like, he's just waiting on us to just say, yeah, like, I'm going to do this with you. And I'm all in for the gospel.
Mm.
And it is the best decision that you will ever make.
It is the best decision.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, there's a definite moment. I remember, like, I was like completely changed. Like, there's definitely I don't know the date and I don't know specifically when it happened, but there's definitely a pre and post.
Yeah.
With me, and my mom always says to Brian about like how I'm like not the same kid I was, and it's in my testimony video, which is in the description right down below. Go check that out if you haven't already. It's pretty good.
It's an amazing story.
It is.
God co-wrote when you allowed him to.
Co-wrote.
Well, think about it. Kind of did.
I mean, I did talk about anime. I don't think it made the final cut, but I did.
I don't think it made the final cut.
I don't think it made the final cut. There's in my story, there's definitely a pre and post. Like my first encounter with God, and it's just incredible to see, because I couldn't be where I'm at without him.
Mm-hmm.
Probably wouldn't be here. So
yeah.
Well, what could you do without God?
Yeah.
Really, when you break it down, because I think about, even though this is your story, but the concepts you were explaining, I just think about how I have seen this. What are you and Chris laughing? Why is your face covered up like that?
You look like an Among Us character.
I wish someone could like bend the camera. Maybe I'll take a picture of him after. Yeah, take a picture, and we're gonna insert it with like a boom sound effect, and then it's gonna disappear off the screen. You look ridiculous. It's goofy.
I just threw the boom sound effect in there so I don't have to edit it in.
Oh my gosh. I forget what I was going to say.
Talk about themes that I was talking about.
Themes that you were talking, that doesn't do anything. Give me a second.
Bum, 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 bum,
Chris.
Bum, bum, bum.
Okay. No.
We just do a new point.
New point.
New point.
I literally have no more questions. When I tell you have answered everything.
Well, I mean, we were talking about the pre and post.
Oh.
And you were like, you said, well, what can you do without God? And we were like, nothing. And then I look over at Chris, and he's like, bum, 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 bum. And then you started talking to Novi, and I wasn't really listening because I was looking at Chris and nodding at him, so I don't remember anything past that point.
That's good.
Neither do I.
How about,
what was
how
that?
about I
What
turn
was,
it
what
on
was that
you
retelling
guys?
supposed
You
to
want
be?
to turn it on us?
I'm going to turn it on you
Okay,
guys.
cool.
Okay. So what's your relationship with God and healing?
This is like one of your signature questions. What's the one she usually
Oh,
asks? How's your prayer life?
How's your prayer life?
How's your prayer life?
It's not even my question. I totally stole it from Pastor Adam. He always
does
asks,
ask, no,
how's
for
your
real.
prayer life? I think it's the most brilliant question ever, and so I love to bug Sawyer with it.
How's your prayer life? Yeah. Sorry.
Like, yeah, I know.
So you're turning it on us.
Yeah. What's your relationship with God and healing?
Ooh, I was just talking about this earlier. You probably heard me ranting about it. God, so my relationship with God is going very well.
Mm-hmm.
I am the closest I think I've ever been. Mm-hmm. I'm allowing him to actually love on me. Mm-hmm. So it's different. Yeah. And it's, if you know anything about my past, like you do, and other people do, it's really hard. Mm-hmm.
Context, she was gay.
That wasn't the one I was talking about.
Story that we were talking about.
All the gay jokes are crazy.
Sorry, I had to give context.
I don't think that was wrong context, but that was
Newsflash, I was talking about the abuse.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Newsflash, we were talking about the abuse.
Why are you going to do me like this?
No.
Making fun of my trauma is crazy.
No, but it's funny. What? We make fun of my trauma. I literally laughed about how I was depressed earlier.
I did laugh at that too.
Yeah, it was like,
You don't laugh, you'll cry. So
Just gonna
gotta
sob.
laugh it off.
Just gonna sob. You know what? Anyways.
I'm listening. Sawyer's not.
Not that I was gay. That was the wrong one. But yes.
context.
We'll add my testimony video in the description too, since y'all want to go into that today.
Yeah, man. Context. Gay. Game.
I came out the closet twice.
Twice? What was the second
One
time?
says a lesbian, the other time as a Christian.
Great.
No, but you know how like awkward it was telling people like who are in the community. They respect me. I was so thankful that a lot of my friends respected it. I don't think they understand, but respected it. Me being like, hi guys. You remember how I like woman? Not anymore. Like it was different. But my prayer life.
Yeah.
My prayer life. Back at it.
Context. She would okay.
Stop. So because of my past, not me being gay, but the childhood stuff, I have a hard time receiving love, and I'm finally allowing God to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But in the midst of that, He has me praying for a person who I do not want to pray for, and I'm gonna be oh so for real.
And you should be
Like
this is the time to be raw.
Yeah,
and honest.
I don't want to pray for this person. I forgive this person, and I thought it was enough. I told I'm like, I think that's enough. It's a person I never want to see again. I don't want to be around you. It's pretty bad. It's that level. And God just kind of jabbed me and was like, I want you to pray for that person. And I was like, are you serious? I was like, God, I've already forgiven them. Like, and for me, what He revealed to me is, yes, I may have forgiven them, but there's still certain things like I'm almost holding on to. And the only way I can release it is by praying and interceding for this person. And the way, like I was talking to my lovely Michaela about this, and the way she put it, because I'm like, I don't understand. I don't understand why. It's not like this is a person who did the craziest stuff to me. This wasn't. So why do I need to do this? Shouldn't I be praying for my abusers? Shouldn't I be praying for why this person? And she's like, maybe no one else is. And that and she just said this before this episode. And I was like, that's insane. Because what if I really am? What if you or anyone, you're the only person praying for somebody? No one else in their life is doing that. And I'm like, I didn't think of it like that. Because I saw, like, sometimes God speaks to me visually or like just sometimes through dreams.
Fruit.
Yeah, fruit. You know, our fruit system that we have going on. I don't think that episode's out yet, but it's going to be by the time.
It's going to be by the time this comes out.
By the time. Yeah,
I really thought about making a reference to the last episode with Brian when he started talking about bananas.
Banana.
So, but, yeah.
Oh, you don't know about the fruit system. But
It's
okay.
real bad.
It is not real bad. Hey, God did it.
From a certain point of view.
Yeah, He doesn't like it, but it was God moving through me. He is a watermelon. Insert watermelon.
I watched the podcast.
Yeah, he's a watermelon.
Yeah.
Insert
watermelon.
Out. Oh, it is?
It's out now.
That's what
Watermelon.
It's the Brighton episode.
Watermelon.
Great episode. You should watch
You know
it.
why you're a watermelon? This is why you're a watermelon. Sandia.
Doesn't even make any sense. Why does this make me
I explained it.
I know, but why does this action make
Maybe you need to watch the podcast.
Yeah, rewatch it.
I've watched it more than anyone. I
fact,
edited it. I rewatched it most.
So, yeah. And it's been, I'm not going to lie, it's been hard.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to remember. I don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
And it feels like it should be easy to forget about. And the fact that I just know there must be something God wants to do with this person for me to be praying this hard. There can't be any other way. If He wants to if He's choosing me to intercede for a person this hard, it has to be something. Yeah. And that's really all I'm going off of right now.
I think there's also something to say about like what it's doing with your own relationship with God. Like to be at a place where you're like, I don't want to do this. Like I don't really want to pray for this person, and like just almost this idea of like, you know, if you give God your yes, He'll take you places you don't really want to go. You know, and it's for our good. You know, that He does it, and so I really think that in this, you know, and in this act of obedience, like there's going to be more outpouring, and just I think what I see for you, I'm not an expert in the situation, what I see is that like through this, it's just submitting to God and saying like, you know what, your desires for this person far outweigh my own opinions of the situation, and you know, I'm going to trust you, and I'm going to like love this person through prayer. And I know that you pray, you are like a prayer warrior. So like this person is being like well taken care of. And I just think that you're going to just be so blessed by this. And I love your honesty and being like, I don't like this. Like, I don't want to do it. And I think we really do ourselves a disservice when we try to like play it up, you know, and play the good Christian card of like, I'll pray for everybody and have no issues about it. And like, you know what, like, I do think that you get to a place where like that is possible, where like you are with God 100%, you know, same desires and stuff. But, you know what? We're also just humans, and we struggle. And some days it is hard to say yes to the Lord, and some days it is really easy. But regardless, He's still worthy of the yes. You know.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see how it plays out for you.
I'm excited too. And terrified.
It happens. All right, Sawyer.
Yeah, my turn.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's hard because, of course, there's like the physical, where like people have illnesses or things that they're dealing with, and I'm praying about it and it doesn't go away. And sometimes, like you were talking about, dealing with that can be really hard. But then there's things with me where they don't get healed, or like where I feel like there's brokenness from some things that have happened to me, and how relationships with others have gone, where I just continue to pray about it and just ask for it to for him just be with me, and for my relationship with him to be enough for me. But sometimes I struggle in that because like I want to be able to have that relationship with others, but then I don't want to hold them higher than God, and so I sometimes struggle in that area. And so asking for healing for myself is something that I've struggled in, because like I don't know if it's pride or what it is, but I just sometimes I don't know. Yeah.
I think I can definitely relate to that. I think for me, it's easier to have faith for healing for other people than it is to have faith for healing for myself.
Yeah.
You know, and it's weird because it's, you know, I'm praying to the same God either way, right? Like quoting the same scripture, you know, and but it's just like, you know what, I do have faith that like I'm gonna see my family healed and restored, you know, in this side of eternity, and it's gonna be amazing when it happens, you know, and I do have faith that, you know, I'll be healed, but I guess I think it's just this perspective of like, you know what, but I don't matter, like, you know, they do, you know, like I want to be there for them, and but I love what you said, it just about like you're aware of it, like this idea of like I want to keep God first, and I love that, like you just have such a pure heart, and like just I like always notice about you, like when you talk and stuff, that like this like purity of the gospel, like you want to keep like the word of God center and like really prioritize it and like do it right, like you're very quick to just like to be very, I don't even know how to say it, like you're not quick to, you're very cognizant of how you're like approaching the gospel to other people, and like how you're going to apply it to your own life, and like making sure that it is what it is, and it's the truth and no one else's truth. And I feel like we need more people like that are willing to be like, I'm going to take the extra long route to make sure that like I'm actually representing God to people, and I'm doing it in my life in a way that like glorifies him. Because it's easy to cut corners, and then you have issues where you are putting other things before him, and that's really easy to do, and it's much easier than putting God first. But
it's really hard sometimes. That guy knows. I talk to him on the phone about it all the time.
Insert picture of Chris.
Yeah, the one from earlier.
Boom sound effect.
Yeah, that's what me and him have really got in the habit of getting on the phone with each other and encouraging each other in this season, no matter how much we may like get sent a text from the enemy. We just get on the phone with each other and laugh, and just from being with each other just immediately feel better, because our relationship is built on what we have here and God. And I just I'm really thankful for my best friend, and
oh my God.
But no, that's so true.
Yeah, because especially with like relationships.
Yo, you've been wanting to get this off your chest.
Yeah, it can be really hard sometimes, because like I've had like things with other people where it just like breaks my heart, and it and then just seeking healing for that. But I still want to hold up that front and be like, I'm fine, and that like I'm good. But I know that like sometimes I do need healing, and sometimes I need to approach God in that way. But there's still that side of me that wants to be like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And there's almost like this numbness. Sometimes even we've talked about this. It's on the board over there. And so that's something that I've been seeking healing for in my own time, and I haven't really talked about it that much. And I feel like sometimes seeking healing for myself is the hardest thing, because it's easy for me to pray for others. Like even last night, I was in the prayer room praying for healing for other people, but it's just sometimes harder to do that for myself, because I don't want to put myself at that standard sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you for your vulnerability.
Oh, I'm fine.
Starts crying.
Yeah.
Maybe you need the Holy Spirit or the Holy Squid, technically.
The holy squid.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I mean, they are both mine. They are from my room.
Yeah, but
So, yeah.
it's kind of funny. I'm matching the Holy Squid. You're matching Kirby.
And my prime.
Wow.
Aesthetic.
Make this an album cover, Sawyer.
Okay.
Boom.
Good to know.
Audio listeners will have no idea.
Yeah. It's kind of
fine.
you guys gonna need to get on YouTube for real.
Yeah,
Get with it.
there's gonna be a joke in one of these episodes that they are gonna have no idea what's going on, but it's gonna be really funny.
Is it the one you showed?
Yes,
Yeah,
it will be the
that's
one
gonna
I
be
showed
visual.
you.
It's so
Because-
funny. It is a visual.
Wait, have I seen it?
Yes, I sent it in the group chat.
Let me
It's
go
the one
check
where I
the
give
group chat.
myself an Oscar.
It's so
yeah.
It's that one. Yeah, they're
So
gonna have
it
no
would make
idea.
it's
Yeah.
just like applause.
So I
They're
might,
just gonna hear
I
it.
might just
20
like
seconds.
I might just like
Sawyer
add an
Robinson.
audio
Yeah.
clip before this before that
Yes.
joke, and I'll be like, audio listeners, you'll have no idea what's going on, but it's fine.
You should do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Disclose.
Disclaimer. Yeah, this
Watch it on
makes no
YouTube.
sense on audio. Go to YouTube.
Yeah, for real.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, we are 53 minutes in, y'all. This has been
technically less because we
fantastic.
prayed beforehand and press record.
Thank you,
before
thank
that.
you. Only took
50
like
minutes.
it took like 2 minutes. Yeah, it always feels shorter than it really was.
Oh yeah, we recorded with Brian for almost an hour, and it felt like 10 minutes.
Yeah. I feel like when you talk about God, with other believers, it just goes by quick.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And also, there's
It's
so
fun.
much. You're never gonna know everything about God.
Yeah.
Like, and
How
then
cool
that's
is
what I
that?
wanted to say earlier, because you said something like
Yeah.
that. You're never gonna fully know anything. You're always gonna be discovering, and that's what makes this journey so fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
never gonna be at a final conclusion, and I love it because I'm always learning something.
The most open world video game.
That is
Oh my
one way to put
Just
it.
work your way up,
That is
Yeah.
one way to put it.
and it just keeps going.
It's like I think about it because God has been speaking through me, also to me
Mhm.
through like analogies of like promises
Yeah.
and marriage and stuff like that in reading my Bible, because that's for some reason the stories he's using.
Mhm.
And what's just so funny to me is how he will do it seems like I've read a story before in the Bible, and I really haven't. It's something new because it's the same concept, but the plot is different, is what
Yeah.
I like to say.
Yeah.
I'm never fully gonna know
Mhm.
everything about God, and that's what makes it so much fun. It's like when people get married,
Yeah.
it's the journey just starts when you get married. The journey doesn't just start like marriage isn't the end goal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The journey starts, and then you
Yeah.
get to know a person, and that's how
Mhm.
I like, because I saw my mom do that with I call him my real dad.
Downing.
Yeah, Tony. I
love
call him
him.
my real dad because I consider him my real dad.
Insert picture of fish from Shark Tale here.
That's his contact photo.
Yeah, that's why I said that. I didn't just say that just because.
I was
Insert
like,
it
we
here.
just talked about how much we love Tony, and then he's like,
Insert picture from. Insert Will Smith from Shark Tale here.
He knows about the joke, because when I saw the movie again, I was like, Dad,
I don't like that movie. It's not good.
I don't care.
You know what it beat for Best Picture nominee that year? It beat Shrek 2 and the first Incredibles movie. And I'm
It is
like,
a story about ghetto fish. Who doesn't like hood fish?
it's not good. It's an awful movie.
no,
That you just spit.
I don't care.
There was some range on that baby.
Sorry,
No, it's fine.
my mouth
Yeah,
collects a lot of
that
spit.
movie's not
That
good.
movie is Frankie the Shark is the best.
It's not good.
I don't even know my point. I love you, Dad.
I love you too, Dad. This is 2 episodes in a row that I've called you Dad and loved you.
He probably like,
I love you too, Rusty.
like this white kid, not my child.
Actually, I'm honorary Caribbean.
Honorary Puerto Rican.
No,
Oh no, you're honorary
it's
Dominican.
Caribbean.
Or did we label you
Caribbean.
Caribbean? Well, Spanish Caribbean. You ain't in touch with my God. With my Guyanese side.
all these women are the same. I've said it on the podcast now.
Okay, we're gonna pray for your relationship struggles, because my gosh.
They're
Oh
coming.
man.
Starts
I
crying.
love this game.
Okay, we should close out in prayer. Can you want to close out?
I can.
And you add his relationship struggles in the midst of
You
that
do
prayer.
you. You don't have to if you don't want to.
I'm gonna do it in my alone time with God.
You
Oh,
already
yeah.
do it.
Yeah, I do pray for you. I lift up all the singles.
All the singles in
Yeah.
your relationship, you don't get prayed for.
No, they do, but just
Like,
God has
wow.
specifically given me
Okay.
one of
Yeah,
one of his
she's-
assignments.
She has
Gotcha.
told me about this before.
Uh,
She does.
Yeah.
It is.
I feel it
I
heavy.
thought it was just like this weird like discriminatory.
No.
No, it's like a.
This is a little tangent, and we don't have to keep this in. But
Yeah, we can.
um,
Unless I'm feeling different.
unless you're feeling different, yeah. A few months ago, I specifically felt the need to really pray for the singles in the gathering, which is the young
Yeah.
adults group.
Go, do it.
Context.
And
Be there.
the context is we were reading this book on marriage, and I realized a lot of the women who are older than me, and some by bigger amounts, are unmarried, have not dated, haven't done certain things. And I have, and that's not to say anything is wrong with that or good about that. But what I realized is I feel like, especially women who are like late millennial, early Gen Z, are having such a hard time in the dating realm in compared to mine, because I already have friends who are married, like in God-fearing marriages, in relationships. Some have kids. Like, it's insane in my younger age range, right? Because I'm kind of like the mid to lower part of Gen Z. And so when I'm seeing this, I'm like, God, why? And I know these women have great hearts, and these men too. They have great hearts. Me personally, in like prayer, I feel like, God, it looks like they're ready. What is going on? And so I've just been praying for them, and also praying for us and other people in my age range, because dating's hard.
Oh, it sucks.
It sucks. Like, I don't like people enough,
like it.
and God wants me to date, and it's crazy. But yeah,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, we might cut this out.
That's okay. I like it.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
having a
okay.
great time dating.
Great time.
Yep.
I'm happy. Sorry.
I forgot you have a man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Silas.
He's great.
Silas. Adam really likes him. My brother really likes him.
Yes.
Yeah, what's up with that guy?
Everybody likes him.
Yeah, I've never met him.
He's amazing.
I don't even know what this man looks like.
Insert picture of generic white
No.
male here.
Generic is crazy.
Hey, I tell Rachel that her boyfriend looks like
This
the
has
default
gotta
main
get
character.
cut, man.
No, this part. No, Rachel does. Like, I look at her boyfriend.
Oh my gosh,
I told her this.
I
No,
love
he
Nick.
he seems really nice. But I told her
I've
this.
met the
She
guy.
posted his graduation photos, and he was like,
He is the sweetest.
with his little side head, so gentle. I was like, that's adorable, but like,
He's
wow.
the sweetest
Bro's
guy.
the generic me character.
I love him. I think that is a great
it is time
idea.
to pray. All right, Novalea.
All right. Dear God, I just thank you so much just for this time we had to just lift your name up high, God, and to share testimony. And Lord, just to be open and vulnerable with where we're at and our struggles. And God, I just thank you for this atmosphere you create, Lord, that we get to do that, God, with no shame and no fear of judgment, Lord. I just thank you for this amazing group of young people that I'm here with today, God, that they just are on fire for you and just are completely sold out for the gospel, Lord, and you know, that they're being obedient and answering just the call you have on their life to reach young people, God, to reach Gen Z. And Lord, I just thank you for these two amazing co-hosts, God. I thank you for just their obedience again and just their passion they have for you, God. And it's just so evident when they talk and that you are a friend, that you're not just some faraway God in the sky, that they know you, Lord, and that they follow your word. And I just pray over them, the God, that they would just continue to walk this walk, Lord, and to continue to just love on you and your people. And I just pray that, in relation to this episode, God, that you would just continue to deepen their understanding of healing, Lord, and who you are as healer, God. And I pray that you would just mend broken relationships, and just, in the way that only you can, God, restore friendships and relationships, God, and especially in Sawyer's life. I just pray for just his peace to be settled over him in relation to those, God, that he just knows that you're in control, and that there's nothing too big for you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Instagram, Apple Podcast, Spotify, MySpace, and YouTube. Please follow, like, and subscribe, please. That'd be excellent.
Let us know in the comments what fruit you think Ayana is.
You gotta pray about it.
What
I
fruit
need
do you
someone
think
prophetic in the building. Don't just give me a fruit.
Give her a fruit. All right, thanks for watching. Thank you,
Bye.
Novi, for coming on.
Yeah, thank you,
Thank
Novi.
you for having me.
I'm going to go watch John Wick.
I need water.
Oh, love John Wick.
Bye.
What a man. All right, bye, y'all.